I recently started doing some of these episodes with a cold open. However, this episode commands a bit of a backstory. Many of you are familiar with Matt Bain, as he is certainly one of the original vintage watch dealers in the world still working today. He has sourced some of the finest pieces the community has ever seen, and he's widely known among the top collectors in the world. For me, however, it was back in 2009 when I first met Matt. I was working at James Purse in Malibu when in walks this gentleman who I could tell was not a local resident. As I began to ask him questions to get to know him a little bit, he told me he sold watches. For example, Ralph Lauren, and more specifically the RRL store around the corner was one of his accounts. I had seen the odd vintage Rolex Submariner in their case lines before, but I guess I just didn't realize it was being sourced by someone outside of the company. This was around the same time that I started reading Hodinkee, as well as writing my own fashion and lifestyle blog, Screaming Mouth. Matt told me he went by Watch Commander, so I continued to check his website off and on for years to come. I didn't see Matt again until last year in Miami when I attended the antique show for my first time. I walked up to his booth, reintroduced myself, basically explaining to him that there's no way he could possibly remember me, but we had met some 15 plus years ago. Matt actually said that he indeed recalled that meeting, and we started chatting immediately. I kindly requested that he come on the show, and here we are roughly a year later. As many of you know, I returned to Miami a few weeks ago, and fresh off of my red-eye flight, I took an Uber over to Matt's office where we recorded this conversation. Matt has amazing taste not only in watches, but in cars as well. I was beyond excited to sit down with him as he's been someone I've looked up to from afar for over a decade, so this was a special one for me. Matt and I talked about his early days as a dealer, his affinity for art, the best investment he's ever made, as well as his furniture business, which I'm not sure many of you know about. And of course, we touch on his car journey as well. This one was a long time coming, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm your host, Wesley Smith, and you're listening to the Standard Age Podcast. Well, Matt, thank you so much for having me here in the office, no less. Coral Gables, you moved here, my understanding, I was chatting with Morgan earlier.
Right.
Year and a half ago, this new space?
Yes. So basically, I grew up down here in South Florida, pretty much since I was like 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
So lived in Miami Beach, then we moved to West Palm Beach. Then after I graduated college, I went to school in Washington, D.C., moved back to Miami in 1990.
Okay. Did you go to American?
I went to American University.
Oh, cool.
So basically, I moved here in 90. I became partners with an Italian watch dealer. He was from Milan, Italy. His name is Massimo Baracca. And we had an office, then a store, and then an office. And then in about 2008 or 9, we split up as a partnership. Not a bad split up, just he was 10 years older than me. He's doing some different things. We still do some deals today.
Cool.
So about 6 years ago, I moved my personal residence to Coral Gables because for my children, I thought the schools were better down here, and commuting to Miami Beach wasn't really that bad at the beginning, but they started doing a bunch of construction. So basically, I was in my car like almost 2.5 hours every day.
That's miserable.
It was so bad.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically, like it'd only take like 30, 40 minutes to get to work. Right. Leaving, coming back from Miami Beach to Coral Gables, sometimes took an hour and a half just to get home. And it's only like 14 miles away.
That's worse than LA.
It was probably like, it's like LA type of stuff. So one day I'm driving, I'm coming over that bridge from Miami Beach to Miami. I mean, it would take like 40 minutes just to get off the beach. From the Miami Beach side, you go over a bridge, and you're on the Miami side.
I believe it.
I'm in the car, I'm like, that's it. Told Morgan, my business partner, hey, we're moving to the Gables. We started looking, and so I moved more for like a lifestyle.
Sure.
I live less than a mile away. I can walk to work on a nice day. Morgan walks to work.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah, no, it's
life-changing.
I'm telling you, it's one of the best life-changing moves I've ever made.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It really is. I need to leave. Leave something at home. It's right here.
Right,
Or
right. Just
I need to
run
come
back.
back and pick something up. I mean, there's pros and cons because, like, when you do live far away from the office, you pretty much, when you're home, you're home. Sometimes I come back,
I see.
but it's not bad. I love it, and I love the Gables. And a silver lining of all this, we're actually doing a lot more business in this office with local people from this area. People that didn't want to come to Miami Beach.
Right, because they can drop by the office.
Exactly. So so many more private individuals are coming here that would just never come in before. And then they're telling friends about it, and we've kind of grown to like this little local watch mecca in South Miami.
That's amazing. Well, tell me a little bit more about going into retail with Massimo and then coming out of it. Was it like an overhead decision? Or what
So
why
basically, back in 1990 when we had a little office, and we said we should open a store. Miami Beach was really growing at the time in the 90s. South Beach was like hot. Tons of the right people were coming, wealthy New Yorkers and Europeans, and we opened the store, and we opened a watch store, but we put like cool like 50s furniture in there for decor, and people kept saying, how much is this? How much is that? I'm like, it's not for sale. It's
the furniture?
yeah, like
Yeah.
like this painting here. Like, how much is? Like, I'm not selling this painting. Like, so finally there was like a desk, and some guy goes, how much is the desk? I'm like, I'm not selling. You know what? I'm gonna sell it. I want $10,000 for this. I'll take it. So I went out and bought another desk.
No way.
Before we knew it, we opened up a bigger store selling 20th century furniture along with the watches.
Okay, because I knew you have a furniture background. We'll get to your dad as well, but actually, Morgan was telling me that you have like at one point a warehouse or something.
Yeah, I still own a warehouse building with tons of 20th century furniture in it.
Oh wow!
But
that you're for sale, or is it more just
people
a
go there.
collection?
We've sold pieces over the years. We also use the building as like a production studio, so people rent them as props and
Sure.
things like that. Like how you were finding, like the cars for the movies
for
you
movies.
told me.
Yeah.
Production people come to us. Plus, we have studios they use. Like they did a Shakira video, Bad Bunny video. The Transporter movie was filmed in the building. All kinds of stuff dealing with props and production. So that was, and the building is a blessing in disguise because we are always looking for a place to store furniture. We always rented warehouses, so on and so on. And we bought this building. It's a 30,000 square foot building. It's in this called the Miami River District. It's like a little west of downtown Miami.
Okay.
And bought it in 1999 for under $500,000. And it's 30,000 square feet in the city limits of Miami. So that was probably, compared to watches and all the stuff I've done,
The best investment.
it's the best investment I've ever made.
Wow. So you still have it?
We still have it.
So you haven't like gone in there to partition anything or anything?
Well, we've rented some of it out. Like an architect was renting it's like a 3-story building. One of the floors is rented to an architect, and the others we use, like I said, for production, props, and things like that. So every once in a while when someone comes in there and they like a chair, I'll sell like a little chair or something every once in a while, but it's not really an active
Right. Store.
Right. So we kept renting places. So finally, it was so cheap just to buy this place. So we kept it all these years, and it's really been an amazing investment.
That's incredible.
So anyway, we had the retail store.
Yep.
In 1996, 1997, when the internet started,
Sure.
eBay and web pages, I was one of first 5 or 6 watch web pages.
Now, was this Watch Commander?
That was Watch Commander.
Okay.
So my sister's husband was a doctor. Hurt his hand. He couldn't be a doctor anymore. And he loved watches. And I didn't know much about the internet at the time.
Right.
I started talking to some personal friends of mine. This internet thing, this, that. I'm like, what is this? What is the internet? And there was I think Yahoo was around then, and Web Crawler, and all these search engines, and they were explaining search engines to me. So we started the Watch Commander with my brother-in-law. He did all the postings and answered the emails, and he was like a volunteer police officer on the side as long as a doctor. So
Wow.
it was like kind of like Watch Commander, almost like it was funny, like police oriented,
Oh,
like,
I see. I see. Okay.
yeah. So
That's
anyway,
where the name came from. Got
yeah,
it.
and the commander, the watch. So he ran it for a while, and then people just started coming into the store, and we were so busy with the internet, the page started taking off, and like we just didn't even want people coming in the store. We were like, this is a bother. My grandmother had this, and
Right, right, right.
and it was just so many people just wasting your time.
Sure. Yeah.
We should just move to an office. And basically, it just happened naturally. Just with the times, we didn't really need a physical brick and mortar store anymore.
Right, right.
It was a great store, though. I mean, it got a lot of, we got written up a lot in magazines, and it was a beautiful store. We had, going from selling that little desk to like then going to Italy and Europe and buying containers of furniture like 5 years later. I mean, we'd bring over containers of furniture.
Wow.
We went cuckoo. And, we sold to a lot of decorators.
Sure.
And, actually, big companies like would buy from us for like their corporate headquarters. I mean, all like
Just
design.
like furnishing
Yeah.
offices.
Yeah.
Stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And but furniture just became more of like it's very hard, the furniture business.
Yeah.
The storing of it, the refinishing of it, the all that type of stuff. Just it wasn't worth the effort anymore. And also, we bought a lot in Europe, and then the dollar kind of changed. It got weaker against the European currencies at one point, and our costs got higher, and just like it was a lot of work, labor intensive. Where like with watches, I can take $1 million, put it in a briefcase, and go see a client.
Right.
I don't have to have that. But the catch-22 or like the silver lining is that warehouse, really became my best investment I ever made.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was your dad's role in furniture then?
So
Because he was in the furniture business, right?
yes. So basically, my dad had a big chain of retail stores down here called Modern Age.
Okay.
It was a major. He had about 36 stores.
Wow.
Back in the late 70s during the recession, he had to close that down or move on. I think it was, and started another smaller chain up in the West Palm Beach area, and that's where I grew up, like for my high school years.
I see.
And
And that was all mid-century stuff?
oh no, he dealt in like
Like
rooms to go.
Okay,
or
like
a
of the
modern-
era, yeah.
Yeah. And then he started making furniture, designing, and supplying other furniture stores with furniture.
Cool.
And he collected watches. Got started like in the 70s. I'll never forget the day. Like my mom's sister had this little piece of jewelry. Oh no, my mom had this little piece of jewelry that her sister really liked. She had like this American pocket watch that my dad really liked, but my dad hadn't started collecting watches yet. They did a trade.
Right.
They traded. So my dad got this pocket watch. It was an American like Waltham or something,
Sure.
multicolor hunting case type of thing.
Cool.
She got the piece of jewelry, and from there, my dad just went crazy, started buying pocket watches, then got into wristwatches. Then I went off to American University, and I came home on Christmas break. We're sitting at a table like we're sitting right now, and he had some of his watches out. I'm like, these are really cool, I like them. And then I started getting into watches, first as like a hobby, like him. And then I was in banking right out of college, and I started getting into, buying watches. I had about $5,000, started buying watches, and I ran out of money, and I had to sell them. So I went to my very first watch show. I remember it was in New Orleans, actually.
No way.
I met my dad there. I had about 10 to 15 watches. I had like a little roll of watches. I put like, they were like anywhere from $200 to $800 watches.
Right,
I
right,
put
right.
like $250 on one, $400 on the other, $800, and I opened the roll up at the watch show, and these guys were like vultures.
Really?
And pretty much the 10, 12 watches sold within like 25
minutes?
seconds.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And people are grabbing them. Like one guy grabbed the guy's hand, he cut himself. Like because there was no internet.
Right.
There wasn't even a cell phone at that time. There's no information. I just kind of had to, like, based on what I paid, and maybe there were a couple of watch reference books that were out with some pricing on it. I have one here. I can show you what it looked like. They're like
just the days of like the fax machine.
Fax machine. There was no information. So I went back to DC. Now I probably had about from 5,000, maybe I made $2,500. So I had 7,500. I went around DC because I was living there right after American.
Got it.
Did the same thing. This time I made like $5,000, but still I underpriced them because they went crazy again. And then one guy cornered me, goes, "Let me see your watch," and he bought them all. Something
Really?
like that. Yeah.
Wow. Are you still in touch with anybody from that long ago?
Yeah. There's some guys way back then that oh yeah. This is like, we're talking 88, 87. There's a lot of guys I still know from that era.
Now, was your dad brand agnostic, or was he like really into certain stuff when you were in college?
He was like a Patek guy mostly.
Okay,
Fair. He liked Pateks and some Rolex, but mostly he was a Patek guy.
Gotcha. Is he still around?
He passed away in 1993.
Oh, wow.
It's funny because when I first became partners with the Italian gentleman Massimo,
Yep.
they were friends. I basically got put together with my partner. It was like going on a blind date. It was a blind partnership.
He's like, "Son, you're going to work with this guy."
I didn't even know him well. And he came up to DC, and we did like a little buying event up there. And we just like hit it off. And we're still good friends today.
And he's in Milan?
He lives part-time here and part-time in Milan.
Oh, okay, cool.
And he's still involved with the watches, not like he used to be.
Got it.
He wrote a couple good books. He was a Cartier expert. That's how I learned a lot about Cartier. He wrote a book called Attempts to Cartier.
Okay.
And there's a couple of the early wristwatch. They were like more pictorial books, but there was a little knowledge there, like the year, and they're really beautiful books. I'll show. I might have one here I can show you.
I feel like the name is obviously going to ring a bell, but like I don't obviously know him.
The Cartier. There was another couple wristwatch books he made, and I learned a lot from him because he had been in the business for like 10, 15 years before I joined him. So he taught me a lot, especially about Cartier. But he was also very knowledgeable on Patek Philippe, Rolex, everything, because Italy was like the place to sell watches, like in the 80s, 90s, and it still is today. But anyway, met him, and like I said, we opened up the store, and then we didn't even want to see a customer anymore. We just were so busy on the internet selling tons. It was a frenzy. Like back then, anytime we'd post something on our webpage, it
was gone.
It basically sold like the day we posted it. I mean, it was a
because you were probably the first then, or one of.
Like I said, we were one of 5 web pages. Okay. So then you would pay. You know how you pay per click?
Yeah.
Like to have the word Patek Philippe might have cost 5 cents on Google or Yahoo, whatever it was. And then I remember this one web page, the guy's still around. And we used to like joke, "Oh, I'm going to outbid you. I'm going to bid 7 cents." For the word Patek Philippe. Now I think if you put Patek Philippe pay per click, it might be $25 per click or more. I don't know what it is today, but I mean, it changed the whole algorithm of search engines compared to when we were doing it. But I did it myself. You just go in there, you put the price. It was like, then he got ahead of me, then I got ahead of him, and
right.
we were like Yahoo web crawler competitors,
right?
On the internet back then. So
that's crazy.
It is. So so we opened the office and did a lot on the net. Then our local clients would come in, people from all around the world. That Miami is a great area because you'd have tourists come here, and watch collectors. They're hunters. Mm-hmm. So say a guy was from Germany and he's a watch guy, they would know about me, and they would come to my office anyway because they want to see watches. They're hungry.
Right.
And like people still come here that are from out of state all the time. Hey, we're going to be in Miami February 10th. Are you guys open? And they make appointments to come here. So like we have guests come from all over the place.
What brand or reference or whatever, however you want to interpret this question, but like, what do you sort of consider yourself to be the most proficient in, or like the professional of X?
Yeah, well,
I mean, you've been doing it for so long.
I know, like,
You're
it's
like encyclopedic at this
I
point.
know it's so weird because, like, in my brain, and I mean, it's a positive and a negative. Like, there's some guys like that will just specialize, say, like in Rolex sport models.
Sure.
They know every intricate part of, say, like a Rolex GMT. Oh, this year the E is supposed to be like that, and that year there's an underline, and
the
this
frog
year it should be
foot
like
and-
this.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
there's that, and then on Omega Speedmaster, then there's a whole nother set of rules for that.
Waco, who you know,
Yeah.
his mind for even just Speedmaster reference numbers is
Yeah.
great.
Really?
Those things are like 12 and 16 digits
I
long,
know,
aren't they?
It's like the 145012 and the
Like,
one, the
they just keep going.
yeah,
Though.
and
Anyway,
I love so, and then there's Patek Philippe. I think that's the most. It's not as complicated, like meaning there's a couple little things, but like with these Rolexes, there's 50 million things. So I have 50 million things in my mind about each brand, and sometimes I don't get them all right. You know what I mean? Like I have to look it up, or because there's so many,
Yeah.
so many. But pretty much like Rolex, Patek. I'm very proficient. Omegas, the Speedies. I went through that whole phase, and I still love Speedies. I mean, they're one of my favorite watches. But
do you have a favorite Speedmaster?
well, of course, like the very first Speedy.
Okay.
I really like the Broad Arrow from 19. I think, but they made them in 58 was the very first one, maybe. I do love them. There was too much hype, and they went way too high, I believe, for what they are.
Right.
And like, there's so many bitter Speedy guys now that don't even want to see them because they paid $200,000 for a watch that may be worth $75,000 today.
Right.
I still love them because I look at it as more the watch than
The value.
yeah. Like a lot of people look at watches. I tell customers, they say, "Well, what's this going to be worth in a year?" And I
You get your crystal ball out, and you.
like for example, I collect art.
Sure.
So when I look at a piece of art, I like the piece of art, not because it's like an Andy Warhol or, I'm not following the next guy I buy. I mean, I do want to make sure I'm buying something sound,
Smart,
but that's not
yeah.
my main focus. I've got to like it.
That's how I talk about watches. Is like,
Yeah.
I'm not buying it for it to be an investment. Although I do have that part of my brain that's like, okay, but how do I not lose the most money? So
Exactly.
it's like that kind of thing. What artists are you drawn to? I mean, you mentioned Warhol, but
I don't have a Warhol, but I was just using it as an
sure.
example.
It's widely known.
I like, there's this Japanese artist named Yasutomo Nara.
Okay.
Naras I've collected those. I have this Italian artist named Boetti.
And what style of art is it? These are paintings?
Yeah, I mean, like, Nara is a current artist. He's probably been doing art maybe since like maybe the 90s, early 2000, young Japanese guy, and it's very like cartoon like.
Okay.
The Nara, like, it's like usually like a Japanese figure, and he makes like these crazy little expressions.
Oh, cool.
And it's funny because I bought him. The artist was getting well known, and I really liked. I was having kids, and
Yeah.
it like kind of fit the kids' rooms and stuff.
Oh,
And,
sure.
But I liked the art anyway, and I liked the artist, and believe it or not, it turned out also to be kind of like the warehouse investment. It just like quadrupled in value. I got.
Are you familiar with a Japanese artist named Yusuke Hanai?
I don't know that artist.
I'll turn you on to him.
Okay.
It sounds a lot like Yusuke.
Okay.
Yusuke's done a lot of collab with Vans, the skateboard shoes.
Okay.
So he's done a lot of like pop-ups and stuff, and he's done some works with them.
Yeah, there's this artist. You may know McGee. He was a graffiti artist. Okay, what is his?
That also sounds vaguely familiar, much like Massimo.
What's his name? Flash. He has like a nickname.
Okay, sure.
He's from the San Francisco area.
Okay.
Maybe originally from New York, but I think then. And it's funny. I've been wanting one for years, and they were always like, I just thought they were very expensive for
What they were.
And he just did like a show about 2 years ago with a bunch of them, like new releases, but looking like the same style of his early stuff.
Yeah.
And I ended up buying one, like an
Oh,
original
cool.
one. Yeah, like about a year ago I got it. And this is an interesting piece of art.
Yeah, what is this? It says 321. Looks like is that all? It almost looks like graphite.
It's like, yeah, it is. It's charcoal and graphite.
Right. Okay.
So basically, I was at an art show one day and I see this. So 321 is like the caliber of the Omega Speedmaster.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
But this artist.
But that's not what he was referencing.
No.
Yeah, just a coincidence.
Yeah. So this particular artist, he was from Argentina, and he would look at addresses and just make a piece of art based on the address of the building. Like, this is 2121 Ponce where I am, and so
right.
he'd be 2121. He'd make a 2121. So this was some address somewhere in Argentina on some building, 321. But I bought it, and I told the dealer I'm buying it because that's the caliber of an Omega Speedmaster.
Yeah.
You know?
So where did you buy this? Here in Miami?
This was it was at one of the, so there's an art fair that comes here every year. I'm sure you heard of it, Art Basel.
Yeah.
And so during Art Basel, there's probably about 8 other fairs. There's one called Scope. There's one called Untitled. And they're all over Miami.
Like Freeze, I think, in
Freeze,
LA.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's a great week in Miami. If you like art, and even if you don't like art, it's a great week to be here.
Yeah.
And I was at one of the sub fairs, and that's where I bought this one.
So and I'll post a photo of this. The 3 is sort of off kilter. The 1 is sort of off kilter.
Yeah.
Is that how he saw it in real life, you think?
It could have been.
Like the numbers are knocked off the building kind of thing?
It could have been, yeah. But it is like graphite and charcoal.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
I've collected a variety of art, and knock on wood, like I've done, like I bought it because I liked it, but some of the artists I have bought have gone like through the roof.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know that it's like, it's better than being in a stock sometimes.
Yeah,
because you're enjoying it and looking at it.
Yeah.
And the McGee piece I just bought, I didn't have room in my house, so it's actually in my daughter's room.
Oh, no way.
And she really likes it.
That's
really
cool.
I'll show you a picture of it.
Yeah, you'll have to send me a photo of that. I just recorded with Jacek. I think we were talking over lunch about this, and he's a big Wes Lang collector.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen he posted sometimes, and I know Wes Lang too because he likes watches.
Oh, he's a big watch guy. So he just released 2 different, I think it was either 2 or 3 different T-shirt designs, and since I can't afford his work, I bought a T-shirt. Fortunately for me, the one I bought sold out. And I sent it to Jacek. I was like, hey man, like I just got this shirt, blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, I have the original of that shirt. And he sent it to me.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh my God.
I think they're friends.
Yeah, they're pretty close, I think, at this point. Yeah.
He's reached out to me, Wes, a few times about some watches and things.
I just watched a really, really great interview with him on YouTube. He doesn't do many interviews, I'm sure, as you know, but Rick Rubin interviewed him, and it's like a 2-hour-long interview.
Wow!
So I broke it up over the course of like 2.5 days to watch it, and great stuff. Yeah, it's like part interview, part studio tour. Which was cool, and I think it was an interview from like 2 years ago or something. But
so my philosophy with art is I like it first, and if it goes up, that's a bonus. And I think people with watches, that's the attitude they have. They end up actually probably usually doing pretty well investment-wise as well. When you really like something, I think an issue with like today's collecting and watches compared to a while ago, people would never really. A guy like in the 90s would buy the watch, never really sell it unless maybe he found one in better condition, he upgrade it.
Right.
Today, like people are just, they want a red Submariner, say. They have it for 6 months to a year, and then they're like, how much is it worth? I want to sell it.
Right.
There's no longevity of collecting on certain watches.
Yeah.
And that's like a negative part of the business right now, I believe. And I think what changed that was probably like the internet.
Sure.
And just so much media about, different watches. Like they see a Paul Newman sell for $17 million at an auction, and everybody wants a Paul Newman.
Oh, my Paul Newman's now a $17 million watch.
Oh.
It's like, well, you're not Paul Newman.
Right. Or, I call it the Paul Newman. There are some really geeky Paul Newman collectors. They know every facet of the Paul Newman. They want everything to be in perfect condition. And then there's the rich guy that knows nothing about a Paul Newman, but wants a Paul Newman because he heard about the Paul Newman.
Of course, yeah.
So that's a different type of Paul Newman collector. So it's like a crossover of the Paul Newman. It goes to some guy that knows nothing about it, but wants it because the other guy has it, or the real collector that really understands the Paul Newman. And like,
does it ever bother you?
What's
Knowing, because I mean, money's money. Let's face it. You got product to move. Like,
Yeah.
if you sell it to a guy that knows nothing, is there any part of you who's like,
it bothers me a
bummer.
little bit, just
Yeah.
because, like,
yeah,
you know,
the appreciation.
just like, he knows nothing about the product, doesn't do any research, doesn't, learn about it, just buys it because he wants to be cool.
Cool, yeah, he's
and
buying
like
cool.
not like a real. Now, say that guy does buy that and really gets into watch collecting and then really starts learning about it. That's
Yeah.
pretty, admirable, for someone that does that. But most of these guys that just want the Paul Newman to have the Paul Newman they're just,
Yeah.
I'll sell to them. I'm a
Yeah,
dealer,
no, I get
like
it.
you said,
yeah.
I gotta feed my kids.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you got bills to pay. What's the watch you own that you've owned the longest, would you say?
Well, I mean, that's like, I've had this question a lot, like, what's your favorite watch? What's the watch you've kept the most? And it's like a very easy answer for me. And
Was it one of your dad's?
yeah, it was like one of my dad's. It was, it's a Patek Philippe.
Cool.
It's called the Top Hat.
Okay.
It's a rectangular watch, and Patek Philippe has a lot of different names. The vintage ones, like one's called the Top Hat. There's one called the Banana. There's one called the Hourglass. So they have all these names because of the different forms. There's one called the Eiffel Tower. It looks like the base of the Eiffel Tower. So this is a top hat.
This
So
is
it's
all based on like case shape.
case shape.
Yep.
Yeah. So like, they call them like form watches.
Yeah, sure,
And
sure.
so this is the top hat form. It looks like a top hat.
Yeah.
So it's platinum, and it's a great story. It belonged to Bing Crosby, who a lot of young people. I say my watch is going down in value because probably
Nobody
like
knows who Bing Crosby
right,
is.
like 30 years ago, it probably was maybe worth more because there were people alive that knew Bing Crosby, but like your generation and younger, they don't know who Bing Crosby is. So, but to me, it's a sentimental thing, and I know the
Right.
whole story behind the watch.
Yeah.
So I love the form of the top hat, and that watch in platinum is just a beautiful watch.
Right.
Like they make it in yellow gold and rose gold, but the platinum version is just like very stark and clean, and then on the back of it is like Bing Crosby's signature.
That's
And
amazing.
So that's like probably like a watch. I mean, just pass it down. Like they say, the Patek ad, it goes from,
Right.
what do
You're
they
just
say?
a custodian or something.
Yeah,
Like, you,
so
you
like-
never really own a Patek. You're
You pass it
just
down.
the caregiver or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
so
Yeah.
that's what my dad then made to my son, so that's probably the longest.
Is he into watches, your son?
He likes them. He's more. My daughter is really more into
Oh,
them.
cool.
Oh yeah, any watch I'm wearing, I like that, and she notices them. And
Do you ever loan, like, does she wear him to school?
no,
She's 14, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and
she's
then that's
like-
kind of a...
but it's funny, and I have a picture of her she was probably 6. She puts a Patek Philippe Aquanaut on her wrist with diamonds,
Amazing.
the little ladies one,
Yeah.
the white face, and she goes, I want that watch. I said, that is your watch, but when you turn 18. So
Is it still sitting there?
I still have it, yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Does she ever talk about it?
A
Does she
little-
remember it?
She does. Because Allison, who works here, has stored it, and every time she comes, not every time, but once a year, she looks at it again.
Oh, that's so nice, though.
But her taste is changing. She goes now,
Okay.
like she wants a Cartier Panther, and she wants, there's another model she wants, like a Datejust Rolex, but
Horses for courses, you know?
Yeah,
It's
but
not just one.
so anyway, she's really into the Cartier Panther right now. She just
Very
loves
cool.
the Cartier Panther. But this Aquanaut, it's funny, talking about, I got it for her. I didn't want to really give it to her at the time. I said, when you're 18, and I did keep it.
Yeah.
It was worth about $7,000 at the time, and now it's like a $35,000
Yeah.
watch. So, but I'm still going to give it to her. So,
That's great.
so that was a good one.
Your cost basis hasn't changed.
Right,
so.
exactly. Exactly.
So that's good. What did you want to be when you grew up? Like when you were a kid? Like what did little Matt want to be?
Like a fireman or something?
Or whatever. Like did you ever like want to be a I don't know, pro ball player or like
Well, basically,
were you like an astronaut kid? Like were you, okay.
I was more. I would probably actually. I was in line to like maybe getting an MBA and just be going into like maybe the stock market.
Suit and
or
tie
hedge
guy.
fund. Yeah. Well, now it's not.
Well,
suit
not
and tie.
anymore. It's the vest with the plaid shirt and
Yeah. But
Midtown Manhattan.
But at the time, like I majored in finance, and then I worked in banking for a year. Then I was actually studying to take like I forgot the name of the test, but the test to get into like a graduate school, like to get your MBA.
Sure.
And I told you I was doing the watch thing, and I was probably making in banking in 1987 $30,000 a year.
Really?
Yeah, MBA guy was probably making 45,000 a year. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's where the salaries were. A good lawyer was making 50 out of college, so I was making a decent salary.
And what were the watches earning you? Like $7,000 a month?
Well, basically, when I started getting cooking with the watches, I probably doubled that salary, and then I kind of just gave a 2-week notice, and
Yeah, kind of.
and I joined the watches full time, and it was so much more fun, just hunting, and when you're doing something you really enjoy, like you with the clothing, you have a passion for fashion, it doesn't feel like as much work,
Right.
and you end up doing, you do well because you really have a passion and you really like it.
Yeah.
So
The hustle isn't quite as taxing.
right.
What was the car back then? What were you driving? What was your first car?
Let me think about this. Well, like when I turned 16 or my first work car.
Either one.
My first car was my mom's Monte Carlo,
Nice.
Chevy Monte Carlo, 1977 Monte Carlo, and I really wanted a sports car. So that was like the hand-me-down, my mom's, but then my really first car was had a 1979 Camaro Z28.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's
a hot car.
That was a mistake. Like my dad got that for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm 17, 18 and, driving fast.
Speeding tickets?
I never really got one.
Amazing.
However, my dad, I told you, was in the furniture business, and one summer I'm working for him in the summer at one of his stores, and there was like the service road in front of his furniture store, and I'm running late, and I don't want to be late, and I'm going down this service road like 100 miles per hour. It was probably 30 miles, and a cop pulls into my dad's store behind me, and he goes, you're going really fast. I know. I said, hey, my dad owns this place. I'm running late. He's going to kill me. Here's my card. Come in. I'll give you a good deal. And oh, no problem. Yeah, I'll come in. And I didn't get the ticket. So
Did he pick up a sofa?
I don't know. He understood the situation though,
Oh my God.
So that was
amazing.
first. That was like my very first, kind of like, my first car. I took it to college with me, and growing up in Florida, one day it snowed in Washington, D.C.
Was that rear wheel drive, that car?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going down some hill in Washington, D.C., and I crashed into some parked car.
Oh.
And nothing bad really happened, but, just that car was not made for the snow.
Big inconvenience.
Yeah. It wasn't like, four-wheel drive and all
Right.
that stuff. And I never really drove in the snow. I had no idea what I was doing. But then I learned quick after that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
My neighbor had a Trans Am when I was like 4.
Yeah, so that was the competing car. Like, remember there was a movie called Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah.
And
one of them was the Firebird that had the big eagle on
yeah,
there.
the black and like Burt
the
Reynolds.
Gold.
Yeah. So that's the car I really wanted, but and the Z28 was kind of like the competitor.
Right.
The Trans Am and the Camaro were like the two. They were the same car.
They actually
basically.
looked really similar.
They were
too.
the same car,
Yeah.
basically. So.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, speaking of your dad, was there anything business-wise that he taught you that maybe you use today still?
Yeah, I mean, he was a very good businessman, so I learned a lot from him business wise, just general business sense. No, that's just like in my blood. He was grew up in New York, and
Like
yeah,
meaning how to make a profit? Like what do you mean by
yeah,
business sense?
like learning. I remember going on a trip with him. I forgot where we were going, and when he grew up in the Bronx of New York,
Sure.
and he played marbles, and he told me a story. This is how business works. So, in marbles, there's a big marble, like the real big one, and then a little one. It's part of the game.
Right.
And he said, I was the only friend of mine that had a bike at the time. He says, like in the 1940s. And so on the other side of New York, they would trade the marbles too, different colors, like kind of
Oh,
like
sure.
baseball
Like baseball
cards.
cards. Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
but
yeah.
so on one side of New York, the big marble was worth more than the smaller marbles. On
Sure.
her side, in the Bronx, it was the opposite.
Huh.
So since he had a bike, he could scoot over there and make trades. And so he taught me about, the whole arbitrage situation just with marbles,
Wow.
since he was a little kid.
That's great.
So he kind of taught me about a market, what a market is,
Yeah.
So yeah, like little things like that, and watching him, grow his furniture business. And I worked for him in the summers a few times, like I said. And no, I learned a lot, tons
That's
from
great.
him.
Do you ever feel pressure? Like you've been doing this so long. Like, when do you feel pressure?
I mean, there's always, I think, owning a business, you're going to have some type of pressure.
But it's like self-inflicted.
Probably, yeah. I mean, probably more pressure with my kids in this business.
Oh, sure.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah. No, that's
getting
fair.
a good grade in school,
Right,
and
right, right, right.
doing good in the game, and But yeah, there's always some type of pressure. I don't know if self-inflicted. Yeah, probably more self-inflicted. But you're always thinking about the deal, or you got to get this done, that done. Just general pressures of business. There always is some. Probably less and less for me because I've been doing it so long. And I think it's tough to start in this business today. But there's what I'm happy about. I do see a lot of young dealers coming on board. Like that or they're making it, and it's really, I like it because it just like passes the torch on
Yeah.
to new faces and new ideas. And like I'm not gonna go start doing YouTube videos and all that.
Right, right, right.
I'm gonna just continue doing the way I'm doing things, but all this stuff with social media, and they're doing a great job, and it's also you know promoting the business.
How do you feel the industry is operating on an ethics basis at a baseline? Like, do you feel good about it? Does it like,
I just think like with any business, whether you're a lawyer, you're a watch dealer, there's always going to be that bad apple.
sure.
But I think in general, there's a lot of really good guys in this business.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think, but there are some bad apples, that it's just who the person they're born as, and
Yeah.
they just can't help themselves.
Right, right, right.
But I believe, like for the most part, like I'm always wanting my clients. I hope they make money on their stuff. I'm always trying to push, the best possible condition, the best possible quality. I think there's some people bringing out some negative stuff. Maybe like online, you see some people being like the spoiler, and I like that too. But maybe the way they're doing it could be, maybe it's not so nice, or like I'll make a mistake on a description of one of my watches. It's just a basic.
Somebody's raking you over the coals about
Right,
it.
right. But like a good client or friend would say, "Hey, you got that reference wrong. Maybe change it." I'm a human. I'm gonna make mistakes.
It's like me with a typo in my emails.
Right,
Like I got a buddy that like hits me up. He's like, "Hey man, you like left a word out or something."
Right, like, pe-
Yeah.
and I
Minuscule
do,
stuff.
and I do that too with people. I'm like, "Hey, oh, you got that?" I'm not gonna sit there and make a public spectacle about it.
Sure.
That's
It's not worth it.
and that's a problem too, because people do make honest mistakes.
Yeah.
And believe me, over the years, I probably made some mistakes with some watches, just because like sophisticated things come out, and then you learn about those. But I'm very careful right now. Like the last like 10 years, I mean, when I get a vintage watch in, I vet the crap out of it. I mean, me and I have girl Allie that runs my webpage. We make sure the right dial, it's for the right year. I mean, we really go through it because, you know, one, you want to sell the right product. Two, you know, I don't need to be ridiculed or written up,
Right.
you know, like for something like an honest mistake.
Right.
So we really, any watch that goes on the webpage is like highly vetted, you know.
You mentioned Allie. We've got Morgan over here.
Right.
You said that the relationship with Massimo was basically a blind date.
Yes.
How did Morgan come into the picture?
Well, it's funny. We also kind of met in a not blindly, but a mutual friend of ours who's like a really big watch collector here in Miami.
Got it.
When I was breaking up with Massimo, his name is Martin. He goes by It's Judgment Time on
On Instagram?
yeah, because
Okay.
he was a local judge here.
Sure. That's great.
But he's really into watches. I mean, he's at every single watch event, no matter what. They have
Really?
the Jordan event. He'll be probably at the NABS.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll be there. He's at the Rolly Fest. He's at an event 3 days a week.
Martin
Zilber, his name is.
Okay, okay.
Anyway, I was playing tennis with him one day, and I said, I'm looking for someone. And then Morgan grew up with his family. He said, oh, and Morgan started hustling a few watches. Like he'd find a brand new Daytona, like in the Bahamas, and then resell it here.
Sure.
Or some modern. He had some friends that, hey, I want to sell this. Can you sell it for me? Then he'd take it to some dealers, and we just met and we just hit it off. And he was an employee for probably, I would say 12, 13 years.
Oh, wow.
And then, one day he just came to me. He's like, hey, I'm thinking of doing some stuff on my own, this, that. And I'm like, hey, why don't you hang around, become a partner? And because he's a really good guy and he's great for the business. And our business is perfect because I'm more like the vintage guy and he does more of the modern timepieces.
Yeah, the contemporary stuff.
Right. And he does some vintage too. Like he knows what I'm looking for. So we're at an event or a watch show or someone will offer him vintage and he knows,
Well, he brought that 1601 to you just moments ago, right? Just for feedback, right? Like,
right, exactly.
He gets stuff.
Oh yeah. No, so we're great. Then I find some modern for his side, but it's we're talking on the phone a lot when we're not in the office. We're communicating all the time about the market. So we met through a mutual friend, and like I said, became a partner, and he's a very big asset for the company.
That's great.
Yeah.
Earlier, when I was asking you about pressure, you brought up your kids.
Yeah.
I'm somewhat of a new dad at this point.
Yeah.
I ask this question a lot for fathers: is how has fatherhood changed you?
It makes you a lot more patient.
Did you have a temper before?
No, just patience.
Just patient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I never really had a bad temper, but no, it just teaches you a lot. You know.
Yeah.
You're taking care of another being, and you gotta.
You're like, oh, that food is on the floor now. Like
Yeah.
that food's not being eaten.
Exactly. And it's funny. So you have a little baby now, and that's a stage, and then when they're 2, it's another stage, and then so each stage brings its different challenges, and you have to learn. Like right now, I'm in this teenage stage. I think it's been the hardest stage, learning how to navigate, what to say, how to parent it.
What's interesting because you have a boy and a girl, right?
Right.
So like, how has the experience differed between the two?
Oh, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
The boys are a lot easier. They're pretty much they're like your friend almost. With the girl, it's a lot more sensitive. You got to be, you got to say the right things and be a lot more loving and show. It's funny. It's like a girl. Well, your girl is going to teach you how to really treat a girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when she's like 5, 6.
Sure.
When she's talking and more like a human, like instead of like a baby
not
blob.
a baby. Right. Sure.
It really, because their emotions are real and there's nothing hidden.
Yeah.
It's like all right in your face. So you really know what she wants.
Yep.
Sometimes as an adult, the men are from Mars, women from Venus type of thing.
Sure.
Well, you understand it a lot more. as your girl's getting older.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you ever struggle selling things sometimes?
Oh yeah, a lot. Like have a hard time selling something I really like, or
What do you do? Because I mean,
well, like someone
you
asked.
don't have a store,
Yeah.
right? And if it's just sitting online, there's no foot traffic that you're aware. There is traffic, there's web traffic,
Right.
but you're not there to say, hey, Matt or Morgan, or hey, let me show you this, or whatever. So what do you do?
Well, I mean, someone asked me this question the other day, and I
Oh,
just,
really?
yeah, like, how do you sell something sometimes? Don't you really love it? And I'm like,
Oh, that, yeah, different, yeah.
is that what you're talking about? Or?
Well, I just mean like sitting inventory, like or something that's like
oh, you
hard
mean
to
like
sell.
hard? You mean like we get stuck with something? I
Yeah.
thought you meant like something I really like, and it's
Well,
hard to sell.
there's that question as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah, that I have. Nah, I'm not really worried about. If you buy like really, well, let's go back to the stroke, like something that's been sitting around a long time. I usually like what I buy, so I don't even mind owning it.
okay, fair.
So sometimes we'll dump something, if we've had a hard time and I don't really like the item that much. It's usually something more commercial.
Take a loss.
Take a law, yeah. I tell people, and I tell Morgan this all the time, or I told him this, I said, if you don't take a loss on something, you're not really doing business.
Yeah.
If you're so cautious.
It's like me putting something on sale.
Right. I mean, if you're that cautious about buying, and not taking some chances sometimes, I don't know if this is, I mean, I take chances a lot. I'm not scared to take a loss. I don't enjoy it, but I learn from it, The worst is, though, not really taking a loss on something that you made a mistake on is like when you sell something, like I did my first couple watch shows, like sell something for 10,000 that could be worth 25,000.
Right. You just don't know sometimes.
Yeah. Well, here's a prime example. So I think today it's about places being at the right place at the right time.
Sure.
For example, we did an antique show. We had this really cool ladies Rolex. Allie, the girl who runs the webpage, she's not here today, but it was like this old 50s tassel Rolex. So it was like this cover Rolex. And we had it on the webpage for $17,000. We brought it, there was an antique show in Coconut Grove. We brought it out there. A couple of people asked the price, $17,000. The antique show company did like videos of some of the booths, and they did it on this tassel watch. And the video on Instagram went viral, like over 1 million views.
Wow.
Over 1,000 questions. I probably could have sold it. It sold in 3 seconds for the $17,000 after this video. I could have marked it $35,000 and it would have sold.
Yeah.
Just
because of the eyeballs.
right, people. That's cheap.
Well, it's like an
17.
auction. You only need 2 people to
Right.
drive a price up.
And people go, that was so cheap, but it wasn't. It was really, a $15,000 to $20,000 thing. But because of this video, it made it look like it was $35,000, and it wasn't a Rolex Submariner. It was, it had more vague or value to it. Like we call it illusion. Like there's illusion value.
Right.
That's like jewelers. They work with a lot of illusion. With watches, it's more difficult. This was more like a jewelry piece.
Right.
Watches, pretty much have, kind of like commodity value almost.
Yeah.
But it is crazy, like an auction, sometimes 2 people start going crazy and something could bring way more than it's worth.
In your roughly 40 years of doing this, what's your craziest auction story?
Well, I have a lot of them. But,
I imagine.
But
is there one that takes the cake where you still look
I've told
back?
the story before.
Okay.
It's my Movado story. It's just a crazy story. So basically, a friend of mine wanted this watch called the Movado Polyplan. It's this long Curvex Movado, like this long. It's curved. And at the time, this is probably like early 2000s.
Like a Centray on steroids type of thing?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like really curved, though.
Yeah.
And it's called a polyplan. The movement is on 3 different planes. So it goes,
Sure.
It's really unbelievable. I might have one here I can show you afterwards.
Oh, wow.
Very
Okay.
cool watch. And like, I bought it I was at a watch show in Germany at the time, and a friend of mine really wanted a polyplan. I paid $7,000 for it and sold it to him for like 7,500. It was a friend, and I just did it. Basically, it was a favor.
Yeah.
After like 6 months, he goes, Matt, I really don't. I don't love the watch. The watch is worth like 10. When I sold it to him for 75, I said, Carl, no problem. Bring it back. Because I could sell it for 10.
Sure.
We ended up it was a white gold watch. We put like kind of a fancy white gold band on it. We retailed it. Allie was working for me at the time. Sold it for like 14,000.
Nice.
Lady comes back. It doesn't keep time. This is a 1930s watch. I'm like, just bring the watch back. Now I was getting just, all right, this watch is turning into like one of these limits.
Yeah, you're going to take a loss.
So I left it in the safe for probably a couple years. Didn't even think about the watch. So one of the auction houses came by. They happened to be visiting Miami. Hey, do you have anything for the auction? I gave them a few pieces. I said, but I'll give you these few. You got to take this Movado. No reserve. If it brings 5,000, I don't care. If it brings 3,000, if it brings 10, no reserve. Just let it fly.
Yeah, let it rip.
And at the time, they were probably worth about, like I said, 10 to 15,000. So it was in Geneva. I was at the auction, and the Movado goes off. It's like 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 30, 50,000, 80,000. It went for like $125,000.
Is it the museum?
No, two guys.
Two guys
that just wanted that watch, and I find it so crazy that it was a watch I didn't even care about.
No reserve.
Right.
Yeah, you could have had it for $2,500.
And that that was a good story. Then some others, like where the auction house back in like the 90s, early 2000s, sometimes they wouldn't even get archives for the Patek's.
Right.
Sometimes you buy something they categorize as yellow and it turned out to be pink. Little things like that. There's been little fun things that happened with me at auctions before.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we talk about this being a very passion-driven hobby,
Right.
and business for that matter. What is there anything that's like on your radar right now that you're really hunting, or
Well,
do you not
they
want
are,
to talk
but
about
they're not affordable.
it? Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, join the club. But like,
um,
what's like pulling on your heartstrings right now?
Well, I do love complicated Patek's. They've really become. I mean,
Yeah.
I used to always have a 24.99 in stock.
3970s have gone to the moon almost.
Yeah, I have a rose and a yellow I kept, but I always have one pre-1970s complicated Patek. I have one now. I have a few now, but not like what. I've always loved the 1518.
Oh God.
And
Yeah.
I used to sell them 200,000, 300,000, 400. They got up to 5 even, but now when they're in the millions, it's very hard. You
got to sell that building.
Yeah, I got to sell the building. I got to sell 5 of the buildings.
Yeah.
But
Man.
and if you see interviews with me over the years, I've always said, I think the most perfect complicated Patek is the 1518 in stainless steel.
Sure.
And 2 just sold this year for about $17 to $20 million. I had an opportunity with Massimo to buy one for $2 million. Well, it might have brought more. We were bidding at it in a German auction, and we went up to about $2 million on it. Probably early 2000s. We had a client for it that we were gonna, we were gonna flip the watch.
I see.
Because that was a lot of money. In early 2000s, $2 million was a lot of money.
It's a lot of money today.
Yeah. But to me, the 1518 it's a Calatrava style case with a beautiful, perpetual calendar chronograph complication. Then came the 2499, which is a little it's beautiful. I love the 2499.
Mm-hmm.
It's to me, the lines aren't as refined as a 1518.
And the hands are different.
Yeah, the hands, the case. So to me, that would be, any 1518. If I get a chance to buy one again, I would do one.
So the 2499s are Dauphine, right?
Right. They have
So that's off the table for me.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, but I love the 2499s. I do have a couple I have about 3 or 4 complicated Pateks now that are, 6-figure plus watches.
Sweet.
So, but very hard to stock them now. I mean, I used to be able to do them. Now it's very difficult.
You have 2 vintage cars. You said I got to hear about these.
Yes, I have I've been in and out of vintage cars like since I was in my 20s. I've always had like a vintage car, like not my main car, but
Like even the Monte Carlos.
the Monte Carlo, the Z28.
Yeah.
You know, I've had like I thought it was perfect for Miami. Like, when did I buy it? Probably like in the late 90s, early 2000s. I had like a 1974 Caprice Classic convertible.
Oh, amazing.
You know, bright red, white leather interior. But every time I'm at a red light, you want to sell it? You want to sell it? You want to sell it? You know,
Like
and
100 spoke rims kind of thing.
yeah, those spoke were. I
Yeah.
mean, I bought it out of like middle of America. It was great for Miami, but it's just too much attention. And
Right.
as a matter of fact, one time a police officer pulled me over, and he thought I was some criminal, and he goes, "Put your hands up! Put your hands up!" Like, it just drew so much attention. So finally,
Wow.
I just ended up selling it. But I've had like wacky cars like that. I've had a couple Porsches. I've had one of my favorite vintage cars was like the Grand Wagoneer Woody.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I bought it right. You know where I bought it? Right by you. There was
Really?
a watch show. What's that area called? Del Mar. You know
Yeah.
the Del Mar Fairgrounds.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
So had been looking for one. A guy, an old man that was setting up the watch show, pulls up. It says for sale. I'm like, "You're selling that?" He goes, "Yeah." I'm like, "Let's go take it for a ride." So I rode around Del Mar, the fairgrounds, with them.
Sure.
It was about 11K, and I bought the Grand Wagoneer, and I had that car for like 12 years.
Wow.
And I put it on Bring a Trailer, and ended up selling it.
Got it.
You know, like 12 years later. I was one of I just used it, and having kids.
Yeah.
I had the car seats in the back.
Totally.
And, anyway, but right now I currently have a 1977. Actually, we can go look at it. It's in my garage. A 77 911.
Oh, amazing.
And
Carrera.
it's a Carrera.
Okay.
It's a 911S.
Sweet.
Not that powerful or fast, but I love the car. It's like worn out, and like it's like really special interior, but I'm not scared to use the car. Like, the paint's messed up and the
Great.
interior's all ripped up, and I mean, I drive the thing all over the place. So
It's just the
great.
crossover from the watches. You got to wear them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a James Bond with beautiful patina.
Yeah.
That's what the car's like.
Yeah, totally.
On the opposite, I have like a 1988 Ferrari GTS with only 8,000 miles on it.
Really?
It's like a new old stock, Rolex chronograph.
So are we driving it? Or
I don't.
how long have you had it?
I've had it about 3 years.
Okay.
It's a good story. So I have a really good client of mine. He's an artist. His name is Kelly, and Kelly been a client of mine for like 10 to 12 years. And every time we do a watch deal, he goes, "Oh, can I throw the Ferrari?" And I'm like, "Kelly, I don't want a Ferrari, So, but it's a beautiful Ferrari. It's a silver color with a navy blue interior.
Oh, wow.
It's really, and then only 8,000 miles. It's like new old stock almost. So it's that one I'm scared to use compared to the Porsche, because say,
You might have to fix it.
what's that?
You might have to fix it if
So
you
I'm
drive
probably
it.
going to end up. I've used it a few times.
Yeah.
It's a cool car, but like, for example, that Grand Wagoneer Woody, I like it better.
Is that the one that got away? That was my next question. Did you ever have a car that just got away?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I think cars, like, if you want one, they're kind of, to me, the stuff I like is kind of easier to obtain.
Right.
But anyway, so a couple of years ago, like 3-4 years ago, we were doing a watch deal, and he goes, "What about the Ferrari?" I said, "Okay, let's do it straight up." It was about equal the watch he bought compared to the Ferrari at the time.
Right.
And I got a Ferrari.
Yeah, you do.
And then I'm really in the market for I really love the BMW 2002 Ti.
Oh, yeah.
There's a
Great
lot in
car.
California.
Yes.
Here you don't see as many.
I
But
saw one on Saturday.
here?
No, at home.
Right, I love personally, and so I was looking at bring a trailer for one, maybe to buy one. But one day, this Mercedes pops up from 1990. It's the 560, like the old man car, like not the coupe, but the
The
Mercedes SEL maybe, or
Okay. The
S
S-Class.
class,
Of the
like a
day.
big boat,
Yeah. Super comfortable.
Then I'm bidding. It's like, I think it was like a $30,000 car at the time, and I put in like 24,000, thinking I'm not going to get it. I'm actually, it was like at the last minute. I'm like, hey, I'm with my kids. And I see this car. I'm like, this is cool. I'm not going to get it. I'll just put 24,000 in, and I ended up buying it.
Of course.
And so, and then actually, I've gotten a lot of that's kind of like the Grand Wagoneer.
Oh,
It's
so you
like,
still have it?
oh yeah,
Oh, nice.
I use it's like tan with like the interior is beautiful. It's like that baseball glove leather,
Oh, the best.
and it's just like a boat, you know. And
Yeah.
I just drive it around, and
Is that a V12?
no, I think it's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay.
Yeah, but you know,
I've got a lot of blind spots in Mercedes for some reason. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
But it's fun. It's like it was a car that was used in Wisconsin at like their lake house, so
Oh, sweet.
it only has like 50,000 miles on it,
Right.
and it's very usable like the Porsche.
Yeah.
So
That's
I use
amazing.
that car, but I'm probably gonna sell the Ferrari and maybe this Mercedes because the Mercedes air condition just always breaks. And
Okay.
we're down here in Florida, and it's really I should probably I'll probably go get it, start using it while the winter is.
Yeah.
But
January,
yeah.
February.
So
What do you think? Do you think you'll get a good number? Are you going to go bring a trailer, you think, for the Ferrari?
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
Has that been a good experience for you?
I've only bought the one car and the Mercedes, and you know, it actually was a dealer. I guess the private people gave it to a dealer to sell, and I said, "Hey, can I drive this car across the country? Is it ready to go?" Yes, it is, but it really wasn't. And then when I sold the Grand Wagoneer, the guy kind of said, "This part's broken, that's broken. Can you give me a discount?" I ended up doing it, but other than that, it seemed like it was a good experience. I mean,
My only experience with bring a trailer is me being the underbidder on a car, and then I
Yeah.
haven't bid on another one since. Because then I found my car later locally.
right. I've been an underbidder a few times, but I think the Ferrari will do well just because of the condition. And yeah, no.
Well, there's
probably-
been a lot of Ferraris that are hitting high marks right now. It might be a good time to
Yeah, no.
sell.
Actually, it's funny. I just submitted the car to them.
Oh, did you?
Yesterday.
Oh, well,
I mean, now
enough.
they have to get back to me, and then they come and when I sold the Grand Wagoneer, they came, they take pictures. I think it's a great service.
Yeah.
And I think, like, for example, like, I think, you know, like the watch version of that is maybe like Loop This.
Sure.
Like Eric and Justin. Yeah. I feel like their auction house, they kind of modeled it after Bring a Trailer, and
Yeah.
it's doing very well. You know,
They're crushing it.
but what I like about Bring a Trailer is all the comments section.
Yeah.
Like, and there's people, oh, it should have this carburetor, or it should have this or that. But it's like I found, I'm not sure how accurate. Like after the Mercedes thing, like they said the AC was working perfect.
Right.
It's not.
The
you know?
comment section's interesting because it can either drive a price up or down.
It could.
You know.
Yeah, because someone could get in there and say, "Hey,
I owned this car, and or
yeah,
one
they
like
changed
it,
this
or,
and they
you know.
changed that, and but it's good because it, you know, I don't have tons of car knowledge, so for someone like me, reading the comments is very helpful. Yeah. So I think it's I think they're doing well too.
That's great.
They sell a lot of cars, it seems like.
Yes.
The Bring the Trailer does. So
Yeah, totally. Matt, thank you for your time. This was super fun. I'm glad we finally got it on the books, and I was able to do it in person, more importantly, because I always enjoy the in-person ones. But thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it.
I hope it goes well.
Is there anything else you wanted to promote or talk about?
Just still doing my thing. I'm still selling watches, buying watches.
Sweet.
You got them, I buy them. You want them,
got
I'll
it.
sell them.
That's right.
You know?
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's go look at some stuff.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
All right, bye.
This wraps up this episode of the Standard H podcast. If you like what you heard, I'd love it if you'd share it with a friend or two. And if you have a moment, please rate and review the show as it helps others discover these episodes. It absolutely helps far more than you realize. Shout out to Jensen Reed and Super Beautiful for the theme track. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.